All right, good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
It is Monday, and we've had a heck of a week, so we decided we were going to go on live and do a little morning coffee talk for you guys. No major interview, just chilling, two girls talking about some wild stuff that happened this week.
Yeah, busy week.
It was a really busy week. So if you don't know, if you haven't been seeing our posts, Courtney has a company called HoldingCourtInc. It is an eco-sustainability fashion design company. Everything is made to order. And it's kind of a big deal because, because it's game-changing the entire fashion industry on how things are made and keeping things super ethical. So we're celebrating all of that. We've been celebrating it since last week with the preview party that we did at the studio at 634. Then she was just on pretty much every single channel.
All the local news spots in Jacksonville. I hit them up as soon as I got here, and then it was, I mean, we did a talk at the St. Augustine Arts Association on sustainability, and
that was really awesome. If you guys get a chance, go back on her feed or my feed. I think it was last Monday or Tuesday.
It was Monday, yeah, it was a week ago.
It was Monday. I tried to get most of the video. I got all but like 3 minutes of the entire presentation on Facebook Live. Super great presentation to find out like what's really going on behind the scenes in the fashion world and why she's changing it through her company. And then on Thursday, we had the actual fashion show, and it was awesome. And we'd never done a fashion show together.
Not together, yeah.
Now, I've done them in the past, so I'm kind of an old head with just not like super fancy stuff, but you know, running some stuff around here back in Jacksonville back in the day. So I was like, I'm a little rusty, but I got you, girl. And
oh, you more than had me. Like, I could not have done it, honestly, without you. It was chaos in the best kind of way.
Yeah.
Like, not like as soon as we got there, what was that, like 4 o'clock? We were just go time, no time to rest until it was done.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. So we had a really great, but it was smooth and everyone had a good time. That's the most important thing I've learned. So we decided after all of this craziness that we're just going to sit back and talk as girl talks about life and stuff and how all of this came about.
Yeah,
you know?
How we got here. We met over a decade ago in Los Angeles. So we've been through many iterations of ourselves, and we've never shied away from going deep and talking about, you know, the problems of any industry that we've worked in the arts, in fashion, in movies, really anything that's artsy that we've been in. Well,
you said it really well, that, you know, anytime we got involved with something, it was like, how can we make it better? It wasn't just about like, oh, I want to be a model and look hot and, you know, put on these clothes. You know, it's like you see certain problems with the world. Like for me, back in the day, I saw a lot of models that were very unhealthy. And I saw a modeling industry that was literally trying to make beautiful women into 10-year-old little boys. And then full-grown women were feeling like they couldn't fit into the clothes because the clothes were literally designed to fit the measurements of a 10-year-old boy. And then they're feeling like they're not good enough, that they're shamed for it.
They're not included in this beauty industry, so they don't feel beautiful.
100%. So it was really, really toxic. And then the models that I was around, they were like, I can't eat anything. I'm never pretty enough. Their hair's falling out. They look like skeletons. And I was like, okay, we need to change this. And so even if we were doing it in Jacksonville, this started in 2007. Not only did I start really getting into vintage because that was my conversation with not getting involved with the exploitive slave labor that happens overseas with big companies that we won't talk about so we don't get in trouble. Those ones we don't like, starting with a W. Okay.
I can talk about them. I talk about them all day
I do too, but whatever. I mean, you guys know. Walmart. And you know, like they were doing all these really bad things. So it's like, okay, well, we can do fashion through vintage, and also not only that, you're not going to be a poster child. You're not going to be an advertisement, something
or like Abercrombie, like back in the day. That's 100%. What everyone was wearing.
100%, or like you literally look like a billboard because your fashion is literally walking around advertising
Victoria's Secret, Pink.
This company that doesn't even really care about you. You know what I mean? So. And you're not really expressing your own individuality.
Yeah.
And then you're losing a ton of money for it because they charge you a lot of money for it too. So it's like no win with that. So, you know, in 5 Points, there was Anomaly and Violet, Clothing Warehouse, and that was where I managed.
Clothing Warehouse was huge.
It was a good one. It was a good one. Now, I didn't own it. It was a family out of Atlanta that officially owned the brand. I was just running the Jacksonville store, and I kind of ran it like an owner because that's just how I do.
I mean, that's, yeah. As you do.
Yeah, and it was just, well, because you know, when it's not just about a paycheck, it's about a bigger purpose, you can't help but just put your all into it, whether you're a manager or whatever. It's like, we were talking about this morning, it's like when you know your bigger purpose in life, everything that you do that comes your way, you do it with such a passion it doesn't feel like work. You know?
And purpose can change too, but when it clicks into place, all of a sudden, everything else kind of lines up around it. You know, like if your purpose is, you know, as I've found, it's sustainability in fashion and finding a way to make that the topic of conversation, bring it to the table so that we can actually look at it and learn more about it. I don't think I would have been designing until that made sense. You know what I mean? Like, but now it's not just even fashion, it's art and it's kids book, but all like I have a kids book that's talking about sustainability and fashion, but it's all pointing back
the same concept.
Purpose. And having a purpose is one of the most important things that you can do. It's actually like there's this whole class at Yale right now. It's about the science of happiness. And the number one thing that they say that creates happiness in one's life is having a purpose.
100%, because
100%.
otherwise you're lost. Or you're running around just like, how do I fit into a world that doesn't even... If you don't have purpose, you do get lost. It's like, okay, it's like this. When I went to Los Angeles and Courtney went to Los Angeles, we were in... It was weird that we didn't meet in Jacksonville for some reason back in the day, because we were running in similar circles but never actually met. But literally within a month and a half of her getting to Los Angeles, we met immediately. And where was I going with this? The idea of purpose. She knew what she wanted to do in Los Angeles, and you guys know I knew exactly what I wanted to do in Los Angeles. And when you know, you automatically meet all the right people, and you can grow things. I mean, literally, like I needed her right at West 11 when it was happening. She got there. We were helping each other. That was when her first book, Night Book, came out, and I was like, the very first event we did was called 11-11-11. And we showed her paintings, which now literally are the basis of her fashion design, like the look of it.
It's true.
And Night Book came out, so it was her first signing. We had Rachel Borovic doing the music, and I was doing the fun installations. We weren't lost in Los Angeles. We weren't looking to other people to tell us who we were. In other words, there's a lot of people that just want to simply be famous because they want to feel full in their life. They want to feel beautiful, but they have no idea how to do it. And they're walking around being like, I'm a model. Will a producer give me a voice or a personality? And that's a terrifying place to be mentally. That's why the purpose is so important.
It's also, I mean, I feel like a lot of people want something to say as well. And there's this, okay, well, what am I sharing? What do I even have to say? I think the important question to ask yourself is, why do you want to share something? And what is that? What is your message? And that kind of goes back into what is the purpose too. Because when I showed up in LA and I met you, I didn't know that sustainability was going to be where I landed, but I did show up saying, I want to make this world somehow better. I want to somehow use my gifts to, I don't know, find more light, find more joy, find more, I don't know, just a better world. Yeah. And a lot of people get psyched out thinking that they can't do it. And that's one thing that you know, if Courtney and I can ever say a note of encouragement to anyone, one person can change everything. Look at John Lennon. I say that all the time. And, you know, people get so psyched out going, well, I'm just me. How am I going to say anything? Or how am I going to do anything? You never know. Faith is huge. I've watched one person in many different realms change a lot or inspire people to start doing the same thing, which is pretty rad, for the better. Yeah, and we don't all we're not all going to be a John Lennon. Like, I'm totally okay
I'm good with that.
Like,
I like my privacy. I would not.
I do too. I enjoy being a spark in and maybe inspiring something of like, okay, well, how can I do this better? What do I have to contribute? There's a lot of young artists that I know who get lost, and it's easy because, well, if even for a second your joy has been punctured, then you start turning toward other things to fill you. Alcohol.
Oh, there's so many addictions,
toxic relationships. Oh my gosh, that's the whole spiral right there. Because you want to be captivated, you want to be enthralled, and that's a part of the artist's journey.
Well, and also too, you're extremely vulnerable when you're in the arts, and you have to share something, and you're terrified. Are you going to be accepted? You know, is it going to work? And so it creates a lot of anxiety with some folks that don't have a strong support system, or basically have the attitude, unfortunately, that I've had, that I'm like, I don't care. Like, I'm just doing it. And it's like, that's like, that's how I've had to get through it, because I grew up in a very critical perfectionism environment, and I literally had to create this mentality of, it's not me. I'm just the vessel for this, and I'm just going to do it. If it works, great. If it doesn't, I'm moving on, and I don't care. I really cannot care. I cannot be personally attached to this, because if you get personally attached, you can, and you're vulnerable, you can really psych yourself out from doing anything in the first place.
Yeah, that too. My background is, I came from a place where a lot of artistic potential, but all of the fear that goes into being vulnerable as you share things and putting yourself out there, and also getting rejected all of the time. I didn't have a single example when I was growing up as to how to do this.
Yeah. It's like, what?
So then I was that crazy person, like, okay, well, I'm just gonna move to LA. Like, that's it. Gotta do it.
And you know, I'm older than her. It's true. I'm older than most of y'all. But the funny thing is I remember thinking to myself when I met her, she's got cojones of steel to come out here when she did. Because it took me another 8 years before, me going out there. And so, but sometimes it's like, we talk about this too. It's like fear or faith.
Oh, faith.
That's it. I mean, like, and people get all weird when you talk about the word faith, especially in the art world, like, are you some oogie boogie Jesus freak?
Yeah, belief is another word people don't like.
They don't like it, but you know what? How many of y'all have anxiety? I don't want it. And the thing is, faith is simply believing without any doubt that you have full confidence that whatever you imagine is actually going to happen. That's pretty much what it is. And then you just walk it. You wake up in the morning and you have full confidence that the fox is going to be open and you're going to get some eggs, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that is life.
So take that same concept, and that's what Courtney and I do with our own little experiments and adventures. I have full confidence in what I envision for 634, and still have no idea what's going to happen the next day, but I know it's going to be great, and be open to any opportunity and walk it. I don't know how it's going to come together, but it does. And you tell your story how you work on faith.
It's a similar thing where if I have the vision, and I know if I spend enough time on it, and here's the thing, like, people have this misconception that you have to make all of your dreams happen while you're young, like while you're in your 20s, like, oh, if you don't make that, then it's not worth it, then you're done. Like, hang up your hat, like you just missed the window. Oh,
that is so true.
I hear that, like, even when I was in my 20s, I was told, I'm sorry, but
you
should have done it as a teenager. And I was like, are you kidding me? Like,
sorry, I'm in 9th grade trying to learn algebra. I can't change the world just yet.
So for me, it's like, I know that for my entire life I'll be doing projects in the arts, and that it's just something that's never going to end or stop. And so for me, like, the purpose and the creative experience and the faith is that when the time is right, it's right.
Yeah.
If you've built it, if you've created the infrastructure, and you're still feeding your dream, then eventually that happens. It takes off, it goes somewhere.
Yes. And
the idea of faith is you just don't stop. Can't stop.
No matter what.
Can't stop, won't stop.
Someone told me, I won't say her name because I say them all the time, Brittany, told me one time, she's my mentor. Sorry, guys. You guys know that because I post her stuff all the time. 3 feet from gold. If you've never heard that concept, it's so true. Sometimes the toughest obstacles, like just when you think you're right into the success, something will just sideswipe you. And I think it's just the universe testing you to see your commitment to it. Seriously. Yeah. And it also hardens you enough to know that you can get to the even tougher challenges. You know, if you can get through this and you're still focused, you can get knocked out for a second, but then you get up and you keep on going and get even stronger. That's the universe getting you ready for the true greatness, because nothing comes easy. That's really great.
No,
like
nothing's easy.
Doesn't work. Like, you know,
people can make it look easy, but
yeah,
never is.
So that goes into our next. We had a few topic highlights that we wanted to cover. It goes into, as you're growing in success, the people that you surround yourself with can either lift you up or they can literally sabotage you in so many ways. And this is something that we've talked about over the years and how it's so important. And then, you know, it's wonderful to now have that. So she's in my kitchen.
Cooking up with the chef hats on.
We're cooking chef stuff. Well, not literally. I'm the worst cook in the world. I'm not allowed to be in an actual kitchen. It's true. It's terrible. But, well, talk, like, yeah.
Yeah, so it's the whole idea that who has your back? And if you really want to be give yourself the most opportunity to fulfill your potential, you need to surround yourself with people that love you, support you, show up for you, help,
literally
lift you up, talk about you, believe in you. It's all about believing in you.
Yeah.
Like on this particular trip coming here, I came on my own, and you know, it's just a lot of things to do for one person to put on an entire fashion show. I'm sorry, it's not possible. You can't do it. And I just remember thinking, oh my God, what am I gonna do? This is gonna, I'm not gonna make it back from this.
No, and wait, just real quick, that's a really good point, because some people would go, I don't know how it's gonna work out, so I can't accept this opportunity because I think I'm gonna be all by myself, so I'm gonna have to say no to it because I don't know how it's gonna work out. But she said yes to it, and then everyone showed up.
And everyone showed up, yeah. It was surprising people. I could not have ever pulled them out of the hat even. Like, they're not even in the hat. Like, I didn't know they were in the hat.
I know. They walked to the hat and jumped in.
Yeah. It's like, really? Oh my God. Like, it's the most beautiful thing to have support and people that believe in you. So if you find that there are people that believe in you, and even if maybe they annoy you sometimes or whatever, it doesn't matter.
Their personhood has a purpose. If they're coming into your world, there's a purpose. There's a reason. And you know what we found too this go around that's super cool is that Courtney was also, it wasn't just about Courtney and her company and that sort of thing. She made so many other people's dreams come true. There was a lady that she wanted, she was thinking, you know, maybe can I model still? Can I do this and that? Man, she was the star. And that was awesome, you know? So we're going to have a shout out to Rachel. You kicked butt.
Yeah, seriously.
And, you know, it's like, you're making everybody else's dreams come true, you know, and when you share your joy and you share your purpose, because people want to model, they want to model for a positive designer. They want to feel beautiful without being sadistically abused. I mean, I'm just saying, you know, things like that. And having a designer or changing the industry or inspiring the industry for women to truly be beautiful from the inside out without having to go through abusive mentalities, you know, or just sadistic practices sometimes is pretty awesome.
Well, it's the difference between seeing a model as an object and a subject, or even a person, you know, like there's 20 women walked for me, and I made sure that I had at least a moment with every model and could look them in the eye and make sure that everyone was feeling great, feeling beautiful, seen, respected. I'm not just going to throw an outfit on someone and be like, well, I hope it goes well. Like, that's not the purpose of my brand. This is a brand with heart, and like, it's a moment of heart too. And so when we were getting the models ready, we had some people in the bleachers watching us work together. And what did they say to us after the show?
Well, first of all, because we were so in a zone, like, you understand, like, I can read her mind and vice versa, and so it's like I'm prepping them and then being like, Court, you gotta double check them, or this, what are you looking for with this, and just because I want to make sure she stays calm, you know, because she eventually has to go out there too and do her thing, and the last thing you want is a designer who's frazzled, and I'm not having that. She's gonna shine too, and see, that's where you have someone's back, truly. Instead of being like, I'm gonna be your assistant for a minute so I can learn your ways and then copy you. Don't get around people like that. Bad news bears.
Or make everything about you.
Or make everything about you. And then have an emotional breakdown when, like, the designer doesn't like how you put someone's handkerchief on their neck. I mean, seriously, dude.
Yeah, that was a beautiful moment, actually, where you're like, oh, it's not a handkerchief, it's an ascot. Okay, no, it's not a backward ascot, it's a frontward ascot. And it was like, boom, boom, boom. And then what's next?
What's next?
No ego. No ego. No, wait, but I think it should be like this.
Dude, yeah.
No time for that.
There's no time for that. So anyway, we were sharing the space with a couple other, I guess they were assistants to another designer.
I think they were, or maybe they were even walking with another designer.
It was a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
And they just, at the end of the show, they looked and they said, we've never seen anyone do that. Like, that was another level. And it's like, well, cool. You know, maybe if more people catch that vibe, then it's going to be helpful for everybody. You know, it really is. And it deepens your friendships. I think it deepens your working relationships when ego gets pushed aside and you're truly looking for who's in charge at the moment. This one's in charge in the moment. She's the one that calls the shots because she has the accountability, you know? And so it's like, women can sometimes be catty and things can get a little emotional and that sort of thing. And that's the worst thing that we can do for each other. So I think that's probably the biggest thing that they noticed, which is pretty rad.
And as a leader too, like, it's in the moment when things are like crazy and frazzled, you still need to be able to like speak kindly and with respect. And if something's not going the way that you like it, communicate that in a loving way.
I wasn't like that a long time ago. I was kind of a hard ass. I'm sorry, guys, but you still love me because we're still friends. But yeah, I mean, those are things that you learn. You just have to learn, and you learn what works and what doesn't work, and like let the stuff that doesn't work burn off of you, and keep changing and growing and making it better.
I had this this challenge of, you know, having my own disappointments and trying to have them fizzle away to not affect my team as they were happening in real time. Yeah. You know, like, oh, that's not gonna happen the way I wanted it to.
Well, but sometimes something better happens.
So then, then it's got to be like this. We gotta change the goal. We gotta shift the look. We gotta make up decisions right on the spot. And like, I think that can be really hard, especially for creators who get stuck on what it's supposed to be like, what it's supposed to look like. That's where a lot of conflict arises and relationships get destroyed and it's expectation.
Should, rather than I'm in this moment and being honest and present. You know, like anytime, like with art, anytime I've started a painting and I have this image in my head of how it should be, I'm forcing my actions to constantly be fixing this thing that's in my head, it ends up looking so pretentious and quite frankly just junky. But when my head's clear, and I usually like to clean right before I paint, and then all of a sudden something pops and says, okay, you're ready. So my head's clear and my heart's in a space where I'm thinking about something, you know, just a general idea or a general vibe, and I just let my movements do their thing. And I kind of like, again, ego stepping aside. They're usually a lot better. I'm gonna say that because I'm like, they're a masterpiece if I do say.
Well, no, but I hear you.
It's a joke.
I hear you. There's more flow. There's more ease. There's more. I mean, emotion. I mean, art is supposed to make you feel something, and if you're trying to feel perfect, like my God, I mean, that happens, like the Sistine Chapel or something like that. But even that it inspires the divine. So,
well, remember that is it a Chinese or a Japanese old adage that says you have to have one mistake in something for it to actually be good? And I think about that a lot. Usually it's my hair that gets stuck in a painting. If anyone's ever worried in the future, if it's my painting, just look for the hair follicles. Like, my hair gets in everything.
Like curlicues.
Well, listen, so what's next? We're doing this too because I'm literally driving her to the airport after this. And very sad.
I know.
So we're wrapping up the week and just talking about all this stuff. But what do you have planned next for Holding Court?
Well, it's fun. There's a whole division of Holding Court that is about storytelling, and that's about to get its moment in light. I've been working on this kids book for an age now, and it's coming out in a couple of months in Hong Kong. But what's interesting is that this development that's happened since COVID is it's also going to be a VR experience. So that's going to be new for me. I'm working with an XR company to create this world within a world of a VR experience of my kids' book.
Wow.
So we're going to be digitizing the art and making it live, and you'll be able to walk through the rooms and hear a recording of each chapter of the book as you walk from room to room and interact with the painting in Oculus or whatever is your VR headset of choice.
So you're going to have a live example of that someday in the future at the studio.
Yes, I will.
So be on lookout for that, because 634 is definitely going to host a local version of that when it comes out.
Yeah,
that will do an event. It'll
and
be
the
like
book too.
Yeah, so like a book release, and then that'd be kind of cool to have like that interactive thing there too. We'll figure that one out.
We'll figure that out.
So be on the lookout for that. In the meantime too, check out HoldingCourtInc.com for all of her amazing designs. I'm obsessed with this jumper. I need it in my world. I am going to get it. It's on my vision board. It is. But we're also going to have some of her t-shirts and socks at the studio as well. So when you come by, you know, you can see it in person. If you want to buy one there, you can do that too. We're not going to have all the designs there, but like the t-shirts and the socks are really fun.
Yeah,
that's a good one.
Organic cottons and organic tencels and embroidered socks. Everything's cosmic and retro and fun.
And speaking of cosmic, we're going to have more of those dinos in space that Clark Creamer started doing for the show.
Fun.
They were a secret hit.
Yeah.
They were really fun. You know, we were trying to put some like background cosmic paintings for her show to make it like coordinated, and Clark just came up with this dino in space thing. It's hysterical. So you'll find that too. We're located, if you're strangers and you're like, okay, why do you keep mentioning this place called 634? And don't type in the numbers. It's an art studio in Avondale here in Jacksonville, Florida that I run. And it's an event space, and it's also an art studio, and you can also rent it out for your own private event. So check it out, but you have to spell the word out. So it's SIXTHREEFORU. Oh, that you are Jax. Because I have to make it as complicated as possible for you to find us. All one word, and it'll pop up. Hopefully, spell it right, because clearly I don't.
Yeah, well, I found it.
Good. The last thing that I think we'd like to wrap up with is the idea of encouraging you all to take a moment. We have so many distractions in our life, and everyone's complaining right now about things that are a problem in the world, right? Even if, like, you know, you turn off the television and whatever, it's really a lot easier to focus on the negative and then get hopeless. Like, oh, this sucks, this sucks, this sucks, this is bad, this is bad. You have no idea how much you can change just your own community just by taking 5 minutes and writing down what is it that you could do once a day to create joy in your own personal life. Not having to do too much, but just something that you can do every day, and something that you can do to create joy in other people's life that connect with you each day. And that is actually so much more powerful than thinking that you got to take on all the world problems. And you change your community, you change all your relationship dynamics, and it actually makes you feel better.
Yeah. So it's one of those happiness things too.
Yeah.
Proven.
proven. So I got to get this lovely lady to the airport. But I hope that you guys enjoyed our little girl chat. And
this is kind of what it sounds like if you're in the car with us on a given day.
Pretty much.
We talk about purpose. We talk about life and goals and joy. Like literally, this is our thing.
This is how we. You know, if you've got friends that like, you know, and I get a lot of people telling me, you know, like, you know, why are you so? How do you make these things happen? Because I have friends like this. You know, we don't. If you have people in your life that the first thing you bring your idea to, they say, how's that going to work? Or how are you going to get the money for that? Or what's going to go on? Don't tell them your dreams.
Yeah.
It's like they're literally like energy vampiring the life out of everything that you're hoping to do. They don't mean to, but it's literally a familiar language. It's like a pervasive language in the world.
Yeah. Well, you know, it's intimidating and it's usually, I mean, it's fear-based. It's fear.
Yeah, and the problem is that it's constantly reinforced in school systems, and we can go on forever about that. But just, you know, changing your language and your mentality and what you think is possible can change your entire life and change your entire world. It's absolutely true. And someone told me again, Brittany said, imagination is positive thought. Worry is imagination inverted. It's not real. Worry is not real. So when you have anxiety, it's based on worry, inverted imagination. So if you flip it on its head and you start making a mental game of it and going, as soon as you think the worst case scenario is something, force yourself to think of the absolute best case scenario of it, even though if you may not believe it at first. But then you'll start believing it, and then you'll start seeing it happen.
Yeah, you have to watch your thoughts. You have to catch it in the moment. Like, oh, wait, no, it's not that anymore. It's this. Mm-hmm. It's going to be this now.
So we hope that you guys have an awesome, awesome week ahead. If you're in the Jacksonville area, please come visit me at the studio.
It's awesome.
I'm there back and forth, so just find the number. Text me, 904-662-1687. That is the studio number. Just text me if you want to make an appointment to come by. We'd love to see you, and you can tour the space. And if you're in Los Angeles, California, don't find Courtney because she won't be there. She's in a hidden location you guys can't find.
I'm in Joshua Tree. I'm 2.5 hours out.
Yeah, no, we learned a long time ago about stalkers. Many blames.
Many blames. Don't let them know where you live.
Yes. So anyway, but the studio is public. So we would love to see you. Come visit and hang and follow us. Get on our email list. And so the next time we do an event, you guys will know about it. And come experience some joyful fun. That's what we're about now. Past 2020, it's all about joy. All right, love y'all.
Ciao, ciao.
Bye.